Hi, my name's Kelly Gibson, and I'm the Executive Director at United Way Oxford. I invite you to join us on our new Let's Talk Local Oxford series. We'll share everything about United Way Oxford, our work, our partners, our investments, and how everything we do is designed to create positive social change right here at home in Oxford County. Not only do we want to share, but we hope to inspire you to join in our efforts and learn ways in which you too can show your local love. So, let's talk local, Oxford.
Woodstock Libro Credit Union is the proud sponsor of Let's Talk Local Oxford.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Local, Oxford. I'd like to take a moment to quickly thank Libro Credit Union for their sponsorship of this podcast. We certainly could not do this without them, so thank you to all the wonderful folks at Libro Credit Union. Today, we will be chatting with one of our funded partners, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Oxford, and we're thrilled to have the Resource Development Manager, Wismer-Van Meer, as well as their Service Delivery Manager, Miriah Gibson, here to join us. And so, ladies, how about you introduce yourselves in a way better way than I just did, to tell people who you are and a little bit about your role at Big Brothers Big Sisters.
All right, so I am Liz Wismer-Van Meer. I am the Resource Development Manager at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Oxford County. I've been with the organization for close to 4 years now. Prior to that, I was actually a board member with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Woodstock and District. And my role at Big Brothers Big Sisters is fund development. My colleague and I, Nicole, we work on funding, whether that be writing grants, holding fundraising events, seeking donors and monthly donors and sponsorship, and of course working with the amazing folk here at United Way of Oxford.
Why, thank you, Liz. We understand that fund development, resource development role really well here in our world also. And Miriah?
Yes, thanks so much for having us. I am Miriah Gibson. I have been with the organization since 2012. So I originally started as a site-based coordinator with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Ingersoll, Tillsonburg, and area. I was in that role for a few years and then transferred over to the community-based program. And then in 2019, we amalgamated with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Woodstock to become Big Brothers Big Sisters of Oxford County. So it's been a pleasure to be in a variety of different roles with the organization. It's been fantastic to merge the two organizations and be able to, just serve the county in a much more efficient way. And so now I am in the position of service delivery manager. So instead of doing the frontline work that I was doing before, I'm a little more behind the scenes. So now I help support the other caseworkers and ensure that programs are running smoothly and
You know, I think people are really familiar with the good work of Big Brothers Big Sisters and how integral the organization is in helping children and youth across our community that are associated with your programs. But I'm always amazed at people don't know the depth of your programming and how many different programs. And United Way is a funder of some and certainly not of all, but you really have incredible depth and lots of really wonderful different types of programs to meet different needs. And so could you tell us a little bit about, for instance, the programs in particular that United Way helps you deliver here in Oxford County?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll let Miriah take. She's much more knowledgeable on the programs.
Yeah, I can give a brief synopsis of the programs that we offered. And as you mentioned, Kelly, a lot of people don't realize the depth of the programming that we offer. A lot of people still think that we just offer that traditional programming, one-to-one, Big Brother, Big Sister. So we do offer our traditional programming still, as well as our non-traditional, what we call community-based programs, which is family matches and couple matches. So similar to matching a big brother or a big sister with a mentee, we will match a couple or a family who are able to collectively mentor and do activities with a child. We have a lot of site-based or school-based programming as well. We have Go Girls and Game On. Those are weekly programs that help support male or female identifying youth in terms of active living, self-esteem, nutrition, physical activity. We also offer community-based group programming. We have our SOAR program, which is social opportunities, activities, and relationships. So that helps to support youth on our wait list who are waiting for a one-to-one match. So they're able to build relationships with peers in the community as well as with mentors. That is also a weekly program. And they also get the opportunity to try activities that they wouldn't necessarily be able to try otherwise. So, for example, things like archery or horseback riding, cooking, those types of programs. We also have a literacy program that runs in our local libraries. So essentially helping students with educational activities, but also still placing an emphasis on that relationship building. We have our PRISM program, and that is a program that connects youth who identify in the 2S LGBTQ plus community with mentors who are also in the community. So to provide support, help guide them along in their journey. There's one-to-one and group programming for that as well.
I love the fact that as an organization and as a group of incredibly dedicated staff and volunteers, amazing volunteers, but really have honed in on how to deliver in the best way possible. So not only all of those traditional programs, but the supports for the youth, the children and youth that are on the wait list, that they too are getting the supports. And, I know sometimes wait lists can be a really scary thing for folks when they're looking for help or support. But your wait lists are actually really engaging and supportive until even more services can come along.
Yeah, and it's the wait list especially is something that can be daunting for people when they hear that word. But we really focus on the fact that just because you're on that list doesn't mean that you're not going to be a part of the program. You're being invited to these activities, and you're also being invited to do those the different things throughout the year. But one of the things I know that United Way really helped us in launching when we were first going into the COVID pandemic was our virtual mentoring. Our service delivery team really responded quickly, knowing that these youth needed that connection. And with funds that we received through United Way, we were able to launch that program and get not only youth that were already matched set up so that they could have that virtual match, but youth on our wait list were being connected with mentors that people realized that they had an hour a week to sit down on their laptop or their computer or even with their phone and just chat with a young person that needed somebody, because that social isolation piece really affects the average person, but a youth that's really facing adversities, that can be a huge setback for them. So that virtual mentoring was a huge plus for us.
Yeah, your organization leaped into that world as faster than almost anyone else to find your way. I mean, it was days of unknown territory, but to find a way to make sure that those who needed the service were going to receive it. And that is so admirable. Ladies, do you think you could tell us a little bit about what families, what children and youth might be applying, like how people would come to your organization, and then the impact of the service, because this is lifelong impact. This is really investing now for a better future. But can you tell us how people get associated with you and connected?
I think for the most part, a lot of it, people know the name Big Brothers, Big Sisters. But I think one thing that we really try hard to take the stigma off of is that this isn't youth coming from one parent situation, as it was originally set up to be, as Big Brothers were meant to mentor young boys that did not have that father figure in their life, and kind of similar for Big Sisters when they came on board later. But I mean, we are reaching out to youth that come from families that mom and dad are there, whether it be two parents, one parent, multiple youth in the house, siblings. I mean, we see a diverse group of families that are coming through and utilizing the services. It's just meant for youth that just need that additional consistent support in their life.
One of our very favorite longtime volunteers, who's a retired educator, has her words of wisdom have always been, one caring adult can change a child's life. And that really sums up, I think, your program right then and there. One caring adult can change their trajectory, their life, their future completely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We have received a lot of research information from the Search Institute. They've been amazing in conducting extensive research into relationships and adversities in childhood. They've developed a developmental relationship framework that consists of five main elements. And this is something that we utilize in training our volunteers and our families. And one of the biggest things that has come out of that research goes along with what you just said, Kelly, is that they have found the biggest indicator of success is one developmental relationship. That is the biggest indicator of success for a child and youth to, grow into successful adulthood.
Well, hopefully there might be people listening who think, I still have an hour or two a week. I could do something. And maybe you'll have a little influx of volunteers.
That'd be great.
Looking to help youth across Oxford County. Yeah. Now, can you tell us, we know that things changed a lot during the pandemic and you adapted to some of those changes, but what are you seeing as we hopefully come out of that, and as students are back in school this year and people are looking for whatever this new normal, might be, but are you seeing changing needs or growing numbers, and how are you coping with some of those challenges?
Mm-hmm. There's definitely been an increase in mental health. I'm sure that won't come as a surprise for our youth. Also for caregivers, though, in the home as well. So it's really impacting family systems as a whole. And now more than ever, it kind of goes into the criteria for the type of youth that we typically serve. Along with what Liz said, it's children who just need one consistent supportive developmental relationship, but we also we're serving youth who face adversity, and so that's truer now than ever. So mental health is definitely one of those adversities. Absolutely school engagement in a variety of different ways. We also see even a lot of social anxiety about being back in school. Mm-hmm. A lot of anxiety that came from being isolated and even losing a lot of those social skills that they had. Those are a few of the needs that we've seen. What else would you say, Liz?
When I think that, as a parent myself, and Miriah is a parent as well, your kids also read off of what your energy is saying, and I don't think there are too many adults out there that didn't really feel the impact of the COVID pandemic and
very true.
What was happening to us. People were losing jobs and people were losing family members, and there was just so much chaos happening and so much uncertainty. And as much as you try to be that positive mark in your children's life, they can feel it, they can read it, and I think that having somebody else outside of their family that could talk to them and help them through that, and just being a listening ear, can make all the difference in the world for a child.
Those relationships matter so much, and it really is that one caring adult who can listen. So I want to thank you both and your team at Big Brothers Big Sisters for all you do. We have been a long-standing partner and a funder, and we support each other back and forth, and we are proud to be able to have dollars through the generosity of our community to support your work, to try and take a little bit of the burden off Liz's shoulders in her fundraising role. But I don't know that people understand, you don't receive government funding.
No.
Your funding is earned dollar by dollar, just like United Ways. It's by generous donors in the community who are making a difference. Mm-hmm. And that's also been a challenge certainly through COVID, but a challenge at the best of times.
Yeah, and I think that one thing is that, you know, you mentioned to Kelly that we are not a government, we do not receive ongoing government funding. United Way is one of our major funders. Without the support of United Way and without the support of the community through United Way, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. Our programming, every single aspect of our programming is free. The youth, the families, there is not a dollar that comes out of their pocket to be a part of any of this. If it's having a mentor, going to our events, doing the horseback riding, going to archery, whatever it is, there's no cost for them. And we wouldn't be able to do that if we didn't have support like United Way of Oxford in our community, because that's what we pride on, is having the ability to offer this for free to our community, because that's just one more burden that a family doesn't need to have to think about.
That's right, a burden and a barrier to support. And we are so glad that we can be a partner together to ensure that they have access to what they need. I mean, I think this is a wonderful example of, we say all the time here at United Way, it takes a village. And it truly does take a village of donors, of volunteers, of partners, but we are in it together, and we really all want the best for our children and youth, the opportunities to have, to grow, to learn, and to become really happy, healthy, productive members of society as they grow up. So we want Oxford to be a great place for families, and your team is certainly helping that happen. So thank you both very much. We are so proud to be a part of your village and to have you as a part of ours. So thank you for joining us today, Liz and Miriah. We thank you and are grateful for all that you do. And for folks listening, I would ask that you stay tuned for upcoming episodes. We're going to continue to share our partnerships and our relationships with funded partners and organizations, and how United Way works with others now more than ever to create the kind of positive, lasting impact across Oxford County, and to meet people's needs where they're at to make that difference. And we can do that together as a village. If you have any questions about this podcast, please email Mike at unitedwayoxford.ca. Mike is all things podcast in the United Way Oxford world, and so he can be your go-to person. And once again, I'd like to thank Libro Credit Union for their incredible support. They are a generous community sponsor. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time on Let's Talk Local, Oxford. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Local, Oxford. If you would like to learn more about United Way Oxford, our work, our engagement, our volunteer opportunities, our partners, or to even make a donation, please visit unitedwayoxford.ca or call our office. We love to chat, and we really love visitors too. If, however, you find yourself needing a hand to locate a program or a service, please call 211, our information and referral service. They're there to connect you to local supports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Remember, 211, they are there to help. Until next time, join with us by showing your local love. We all could use a little more of that. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Local Oxford, proudly sponsored by Woodstock Libro Credit Union.